Imagine that your health is not just the absence of illness, but a true balance between body and soul. It's the strength that allows you to remain calm in any situation, even amidst chaos. But how can you achieve this harmony? How can you find balance between physical exercise, emotional peace, and inner resilience? The Stoics taught that health is the ability to accept life as it is, with all its challenges and joys. They believe that true health is inner harmony, which ensures resilience and calm both physically and emotionally. Today, I will share with you 5 Stoic principles that can help preserve the health of both body and soul. Principle 1. Control what is within your power. One of the fundamental principles of Stoicism is understanding that we cannot control external circumstances, but we always have full control over our reactions to them. The Stoics believe this to be the most important and effective thing we can change in our lives, our thoughts, emotions, and actions. The essence of Stoicism lies in the idea that, despite external challenges, we can maintain inner peace because true strength resides in our ability to choose how we respond to events. The core of this principle is to clearly distinguish what we can change and what we cannot. As Marcus Aurelius put it, some things that happen are beyond our control, but our reaction is always within our power. In other words, we cannot control the weather, the economy, other people, or even certain events in our lives. However, we can choose how to perceive these events, how to respond to them, and what lessons to draw from them. According to the Stoics, true strength lies in letting go of the desire to change what is beyond our control. When we accept this truth, we gain inner peace because we no longer try to fight against inevitable external circumstances. This principle is crucial for mental health. A person who constantly tries to control everything around them faces chronic stress and disappointment. Fighting against the external world is exhausting, as it often resists our influence. Stoicism provides a way to free ourselves from this struggle. It helps us focus on what we can truly change, our internal reaction. Let's take, for example, a situation where we encounter difficulties at work. Perhaps we have a demanding boss or are anxious about the outcome of a project. A Stoic in such a situation would not blame the circumstances or people for their distress. Instead, they would ask themselves, what can I control in this situation? How can I respond to maintain my peace and move forward? This might involve taking a constructive approach to work or finding inner calm by accepting that the outcome is not always within our control. This approach helps avoid unnecessary stress, as we no longer obsess over things we cannot change. Instead, we take responsibility for how we respond to events rather than the events themselves. This reduces anxiety, improves adaptability, and helps us remain resilient in the face of challenges. Stoicism teaches that life is inherently unpredictable. Illness, loss, and unforeseen situations are all part of our existence. We cannot predict or control these events, so the best path is to accept them as an integral part of life. The desire to change or interfere with these occurrences often only worsens the situation. Rather than suffering from unpredictability, the Stoics encourage us to accept everything that happens as a part of nature, something inevitable. The Stoics understood that life offers no guarantees, and each day may bring new trials. However, their practices teach us how to remain calm and wise under any circumstances. This means we should focus on what we can change, our response to events. Control over reactions. To control our reactions means to influence our thoughts, feelings, and behavior. This is crucial because it is our reaction to external events that determines our emotional state. For instance, when faced with a work-related issue, one might either worry and feel anxious or calmly seek solutions. In both cases, the situation remains the same, but the internal experience differs. The Stoics offer several ways to control our reactions. One of them is regular self-reflection, where we ask ourselves whether our reaction to a situation is fair and whether it helps us move forward. They also recommend practices such as meditation and contemplating the nature of things to align our mindset toward positivity and constructive action. This approach does not mean we should become indifferent to the external world or ignore our emotions. On the contrary, Stoicism teaches us to recognize our emotions and manage them, rather than letting them control us. Being mindful of our reactions enables us to maintain inner balance, even in the most challenging situations. Practical examples. Work stress. You may feel under significant pressure due to deadlines or your boss's demands. Your initial reaction might be irritation or anxiety. However, the Stoic approach involves pausing and asking yourself, what can I do in this situation? Instead of complaining about circumstances, you acknowledge their existence and focus on finding constructive solutions. Loss of a loved one. No one can control the inevitability of loss, but the Stoics teach that we can control how we respond to it. Understanding that death is a natural part of life helps us accept loss, preserve inner peace, and find meaning and value in every moment of life. Conflicts with others. In a conflict, instead of trying to change others, a Stoic focuses on how to respond to their behavior while maintaining respect and composure. The principle of controlling only what is within our power is a cornerstone of Stoicism and a vital tool for maintaining mental health. Recognizing that we cannot change many external circumstances, but can choose our reaction to them allows us to remain calm and adapt to any situation. This teaching empowers us not to be slaves to circumstances, but to live in harmony with ourselves, regardless of what is happening around us. Principle 2. The natural order and living in harmony with it. The Stoics believe that the universe operates according to natural laws, and everything within it is interconnected. Accordingly, it is essential for humans to live in alignment with these laws, following their natural purpose. This pertains not only to our relationship with the world around us, but also to how we live internally. Harmony with nature means living in balance with our body and mind, as well as with the environment. The natural order, according to Stoicism, is not an abstract concept detached from us. It represents our connection to ourselves and to the world around us. Our health is one of the most critical aspects of this harmony. When we neglect the needs of our body or soul, we disrupt the natural order, contributing to stress, illness, and inner conflict. Applying this principle to health. Balanced nutrition. The Stoics emphasize the importance of moderation in all things, including diet. They taught that our body should receive only what it needs to maintain health, avoiding excess. As Seneca remarked, he who becomes accustomed to eating more than his body requires becomes a slave to his desires. In today's world, where overconsumption is common, Stoicism reminds us of the importance of moderation. Food should not become a source of emotional comfort or an escape from difficulties, but should serve as a necessary means of nourishing the body. This means prioritizing a balanced diet that provides the body with all the necessary nutrients. Choosing wholesome foods that suit our body and being mindful of when we truly need to eat helps preserve energy and maintain health. The natural order calls for treating our body with care and responsibility, addressing its needs without succumbing to fleeting desires. Regular physical activity. The Stoics highlighted the importance of physical activity as part of living in harmony with a natural order. For them, physical health was an integral part of mental tranquility. They believed that the body should be strong and capable of enduring life's challenges, rather than weak or sickly. This aligns with their philosophy of self-improvement, which demands balance in all aspects, both physical and moral. Regular exercise not only strengthens the body, but also fosters resilience and discipline, key elements in Stoic practice. By honoring the needs of the body through mindful nutrition and consistent activity, we respect the natural order, maintaining harmony with both ourselves and the world around us. Regular physical exercise, such as walking, running, yoga, or any other activity suited to our physical condition, not only supports bodily health, but also enhances mental well-being. Physical activity stimulates the production of endorphins, improves mood, and aids recovery from stress. Avoiding excess. The Stoics believe that excess in any form disrupts the natural order, whether it be physical or emotional. Living under constant stress or striving for too much can lead to exhaustion and health issues. Instead of chasing the maximum, Stoics taught that we should aim for moderation in all aspects of life. This principle applies to simple aspects such as sleep and leisure. For instance, too little sleep can harm physical health, while overworking or staying in stressful situations can lead to fatigue and emotional burnout. Finding the golden mean between work and rest, activity and calmness, is essential. Balancing work and rest. One of the best examples of applying this Stoic principle is achieving harmony between work and relaxation. The rapid development of technology and increasing demands at work often push us to sacrifice personal time and health. We may work longer hours in pursuit of greater achievements, but this disrupts the natural order. The Stoics taught that work should be a part of our lives, but it should not be the sole source of meaning. Focusing exclusively on accomplishments without allocating time for rest leads to emotional burnout and physical fatigue. They believed every activity should be followed by a period of recovery, a natural part of life cycle. True health can only be achieved when we find harmony between work, rest, and physical activity. The Stoics emphasize the importance of taking time for reflection, meditation, or simply being in silence. These practices help maintain balance in life and support both physical and mental health. Living in harmony with the natural order. For the Stoics, the natural order was not merely an abstract concept, but a practical approach to life. It requires living in harmony with our body and mind by adhering to principles of moderation, responsibility, and balance. This includes healthy eating, regular physical activity, and the ability to find equilibrium between work and rest. Stoicism offers a pathway to preserving health by understanding what we can control and wisely utilizing our resources to live in alignment with nature. Principle 3. Moderation in everything. One of the fundamental principles of Stoicism is the idea of moderation, the ability to live without excessive attachments to external goods or indulgences. Stoics believe that the pursuit of excess leads to emotional exhaustion and inner conflict. For them, moderation was not only a philosophical ideal, but also a practical way of life that promotes harmony, inner peace, and good health. Stoics taught that anything we perceive as a good could become a source of suffering if we become overly dependent on it. They advised against attaching ourselves to material possessions, pleasures, or emotional states, as these attachments create the illusion of control where none truly exists. Instead of striving for excessive wealth, food, or recognition, they advocated for maintaining inner freedom, the ability to live independently of external circumstances. For Stoics, moderation meant meeting basic needs while maintaining peace and balance. They believed that having enough to live a happy and harmonious life was sufficient. Natural needs like food, sleep, water, and rest should not become reasons for overindulgence. Stoics emphasize the importance of moderation, recognizing that even the best things, when taken to excess, can lead to dependency and inner turmoil. Applying this principle to physical and mental health. Avoiding excesses. One core Stoic idea is avoiding any form of excess, even in things that are typically beneficial. Stoics warned against enjoying something more than is necessary to maintain health or inner peace. This applies to both physical and mental practices. In terms of physical health, overindulgence in food, excessive physical activity, or excessive entertainment can negatively impact the body. For instance, overeating can lead to digestive issues and weight gain, while overtraining can cause physical exhaustion or injury. Instead of seeking immediate gratification, Stoics teach us to strive for balance and maintain moderation in every aspect of life. Mentally, this principle helps prevent emotional overload. People often seek excessive control, recognition, or idealized relationships, which leads to stress and anxiety. Stoics suggest approaching every aspect of life without excessive expectations or attachments, maintaining balance between desires and needs. Avoiding stress and harmful habits. Stoicism teaches us not to let stress or harmful habits affect our physical and mental well-being. Instead of escaping stress through unhealthy habits like alcohol or smoking, Stoics encourage the use of inner control and self-discipline to maintain calm in challenging situations. They emphasize that stress is a reaction to external circumstances and arises from excessive attachments to things we cannot control. Reducing stress involves accepting that we cannot change the external world, but can control our reaction to it. This requires learning to avoid impulsive emotional reactions and instead maintain calm and reflect before acting. By practicing moderation, we can avoid the extremes that lead to both physical and emotional harm. Stoicism reminds us that true freedom and health come from a balanced and thoughtful approach to life, focusing on what truly matters. Regular breaks and rest. An important aspect of moderation is understanding that even the best activities require rest. The Stoics recognize that constant work without rest leads to physical and emotional exhaustion. They emphasize that to maintain health and productivity, it is important to replenish energy and give the body time to rest. The importance of regular breaks in work or personal life is emphasized in Stoic practice. Moderation means that we should not constantly work without stopping, as this not only depletes our physical resources, but can also lead to emotional burnout. Replacing endless hustle with regular breaks or quiet moments for reflection helps maintain balance. Just as physical exercise, regular rest promotes recovery and prevents overexertion. For example, in today's high-stress work environment, it is crucial to take breaks not only to restore physical strength, but also to avoid losing mental balance. The Stoics understood that even the greatest labor, if not accompanied by rest, could become a source of stress and fatigue. Therefore, they recommended regular breaks to remain productive and healthy. If we apply this principle to a typical workday, instead of working continuously for 8 to 12 hours, we can take short breaks every 1 to 2 hours to stretch, do deep breathing, drink water, or take a walk outdoors. These breaks help reduce stress, improve concentration, and support physical recovery. They also help maintain mental clarity, allowing us to preserve calmness and health. The principle of moderation in Stoicism teaches us to be free from addictions and excesses. This applies to both physical and mental health. Practicing moderation allows us to maintain health, avoid stress and harmful habits, and find balance between work and rest. By following this principle, we can achieve not only external well-being, but also inner peace and harmony. Principle 4. Acceptance of difficulties and resilience. One of the core aspects of Stoicism is the ability to accept difficulties as a part of life. The Stoics taught that misfortunes, stress, and even physical suffering are inherent elements of our existence, and it is important to learn to face them with dignity and calmness. Instead of avoiding pain or stress, the Stoics suggest viewing these difficulties as opportunities for growth and strengthening our inner resilience. They assert that while we cannot avoid challenges, we can choose how to respond to them. The Stoics did not seek to idealize life or avoid difficulties. On the contrary, they believe that hardships are a part of the nature of the world and an integral part of the human experience. It is important not only to accept these difficulties, but also to learn to live with them, seeking opportunities for growth and development through challenges. This means that pain and hardship should not be obstacles or moments of depression for us, but rather chances to strengthen our character and demonstrate true resilience. Stoicism teaches that our experiences and reactions to difficulties are the only things we can control. The difficulties themselves, whether they be illness, injury, failure, or personal struggles, are merely circumstances over which we have no direct influence. It is important to change our approach to such situations, understanding that they can become part of our development. The ability to accept life as it is, even in the toughest moments, allows us to maintain calm and inner strength. How this principle helps us face illness, injuries, and other health challenges with resilience. Acceptance of inevitable difficulties. One of the core ideas of Stoicism is accepting that hardships are part of life. They should not frighten or break us. For the Stoics, it was important not to avoid suffering, but to learn how to use it as an opportunity for self-improvement. When a person faces illness, injury, or other health challenges, instead of giving up, Stoics encourage staying calm, focusing on what we can change, our reactions and ways to overcome these difficulties. Acceptance of difficulties does not mean passivity or inaction. It means the ability to face adversity with inner peace. If someone becomes ill, Stoicism teaches that they should do everything possible for recovery. Take the necessary medical steps, follow the treatment plan, and maintain mental well-being. However, it is also important to be prepared for the fact that some circumstances may be beyond our control. Here, Stoicism offers an important lesson. When we accept illness or injury as an inherent part of life, we can maintain calmness and not let these trials break our spirit. Strengthening inner resilience. The Stoics saw difficulties as an opportunity to strengthen our resilience. They believed that through adversity, we could develop our willpower and self-control. Health from a Stoic perspective is not just a physical state, but also a mental one. Illness or physical injury may be a difficult test, but it can also become a chance to develop inner strength. For example, in the case of a serious injury or illness, it is important not only to support the body, but also to be ready for emotional challenges. The more we are able to control our emotions in such situations, the better we can handle physical pain or limitations. The Stoics believe that it is crucial to work on our inner state just as much as on our physical health. Rejection of self-pity and regret. Stoicism calls us not to remain trapped in self-pity or regret over our difficulties. We need to recognize that pitiful thoughts only amplify suffering and do not help us cope with challenges. If we start lamenting over what has happened, it will only increase our emotional stress and will not aid in healing or adapting to the situation. Seneca wrote, "No one can be healthy if they are not able to withstand physical and emotional blows." These words emphasize the importance of not only physical resilience, but also emotional endurance. A person's true strength is not shown in their ability to avoid difficulties, but in their ability to accept them and continue moving forward. Finding the positive in the negative. Another key aspect of Stoic philosophy is the ability to see opportunities for growth even in the greatest challenges. Illness or injury is, of course, a difficult trial, but it can also help us understand how valuable health is, how to appreciate the present moment, and how to maintain connections with others. The Stoics believe that every difficulty has its lesson, and we can become stronger if we use these lessons on our path. Seneca's quote, "No one can be healthy if they are not able to withstand physical and emotional blows." These words from Seneca resonate with the core idea of Stoicism. Difficulties are an inevitable part of life, and only through resilience and inner control can we maintain health and harmony in the most difficult situations. For Stoics, it is not what happens to us that matters, but how we respond to it. Imagine a person going through a serious illness or injury. They may become a victim of frustration and complain about their situation, but according to Stoic logic, this will only make their suffering worse. Instead, it is important to accept the reality, stay calm, and think about how to adapt to the new conditions. The person must do everything possible to support their physical health, undergoing treatment, exercising, monitoring their condition, and also work on their mental health. Accepting difficulties allows a person to not only cope more effectively with illness, but also strengthen their resilience for future challenges. The principle of acceptance of difficulties and resilience is key to Stoicism and directly relates to our health. Learning to accept difficulties and remain resilient helps us not only survive physical and emotional blows, but also strengthen our character. Rather than avoiding pain, Stoicism encourages us to use it as an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. This enables us to maintain inner peace and health even in the most difficult circumstances of life.